Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury and Bulldog Nation, I hope you enjoyed your St. Patrick's Day. Didn't eat too much green spaghetti at Skyline or too much green beer wherever you partook. Folks, 100,000 illegals came into this country in February. Let me give you a perspective and a context. Covington, Kentucky is the third largest city in the state. Population in 2020, 40,000. That means in February, 2.5 Covington, Kentucky's illegals came into this country. Where do they go for food? Where do they go for education? Where do they go for health care? The American taxpayer. Think if you are a legal, poor, white, Hispanic, black, child, person in this country living in Appalachia or one of our cities. Think about all the financial resources that are going to 2.5 Covingtons worth of population. And that was just the month of February. Just wanted to give you some context. When they say 100,000 coming in, what does that exactly mean? It is a large city. May not be New York, but it is a large city in the United States every month. It's crazy. COVID and NBC and Biden. You hear about this? An NBC reporter admitted that they've used COVID to limit access to Biden. You know, NBC and the administration working together, that they've actually used the COVID thing to eliminate limit his access during the campaign and even since then. Boy, that's a real shocker. Like we didn't know that. DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, has now admitted, yeah, we've made some mistakes of not testing these illegals when we've dumped them in other cities. I mean, how do you do that? How do you do that? All this COVID, look how our government has treated us related to COVID. But it's okay. It's all right if an illegal person has COVID. Do you know that you can't get COVID from an illegal person who has COVID? Do y'all know that, Chuck, Joe? I got a studio audience, a capo from the Bulldog Mafia, Joe Rudder, and the underboss, Chuck Holbrook. Did you know that, guys? You did not know that? No. You did not know that. All right. Well, that's the truth. How about Harry's lack of judgment? Prince Harry. He's a moron, as Stork would say. Prince Harry actually tells Gayle King his conversation that he had with his dad and his brother. Violation of trust. I mean, Markle and Harry are just, by the way, even Michelle Obama took a shot at Markle. Markle for president. I said something off the air that I can't repeat that's pretty funny, actually, about Markle. CNN ratings are down 1 million viewers a night. They've lost 50% of their viewership since Trump left office. They're sitting around going, man, we made money on that guy. Can we bring him back? Covington and corporate welfare. Speaking of Covington, Kentucky, I read an article where these developers who are converting the county building, the old county building, into some luxury apartments, now want the city of Covington to give them money to offset their expenses. Can you imagine doing real estate? This goes on all around this country and it makes me sick. Developers who have money have taxpayers give them money to do projects, all under the guise of this is going to increase tax dollars into the community. It's a bunch of bullshit. Speaking of tax dollars, Joe Biden says only those people who are making $400,000 will have a tax increase. Every time this comes out, I always think to myself, the poor schmucks that make $401,000 or $402,000. And then you got the people who are making $399,000. Go, yes, yes. Guys, since you both only make $399,000 a year, aren't you glad that Biden's not going to tax you guys?
So great.
Isn't it a relief? My goodness. All right, North Korea. You know, North Korea apparently says that they're just blowing off the Biden administration. Do you know who's our shadow president? Susan Rice is running the show for old Joe Biden. You know what people forget this. You know what Susan Rice said? We can deal with a nuclear North Korea. It'd be all right. Look at how Trump went through such extraordinary means to stymie that. The shadow president, Susan Rice, is okay with North Korea and those whack jobs that run it with a nuclear weapon. Putin's a killer? Oh, really? We all know Putin's a killer. Joe Biden, the president of the United States, doesn't do very good diplomacy when he says, Joe, Putin's a killer and he's going to pay a price. Nice going, Joe. Way to go with diplomacy. Do you know if you're the president of the United States, even Colin Powell said he had to shake the hands of a lot of schmucks. If you're the president of the United States, you've got to deal with the Putins of the world. Plain and freaking simple. You got to deal with them. You don't publicly announce they're freaking killers. Joe Biden. What a joke. Dan Bongino, what do you think about this? He has been chosen to replace Rush on the radio hour. I submitted my application and they never called me. Pisses me off. I'm just teasing. I never did. Of course, I would have taken the job if asked. But I wish him very luck. Big shoes to fill. Stimulus pork. I forgot my damn article. I brought an article. I was going to actually read from an article. This pork, it's unbelievable what's in this $1.9 trillion bill. And guess what? Even the Republicans are taking their money. I mean, there's like 10,000 for stupid tests. I mean, just crazy stuff. I'll promise I won't forget the article tomorrow. John Kerry flying with American Airlines without his mask on. Kerry is always, do what I say, not what I do. He said it was only down for a while. He said it was only down for a minute. I didn't see it anywhere to be seen. Do you believe John Kerry? I don't. DELOITTE, I always mispronounce this, Roger. How do you pronounce it? The accounting firm, DELOITTE? Deloitte? Deloitte and Touche. Deloitte and Douche has come out. I have a hard time pronouncing certain words. Deloitte and Douche has come out and said that even microaggressions in the workplace are subject to discipline. Do you all know what the hell a microaggression is? Because I think that I exude all day long microaggressions to everybody I work around.
Not flushing the toilet?
No, I mean, you're not flushing the toilet. Why didn't you all flush the toilet? What the hell's a microaggression? I have microaggressions of Roger every day. Roger has microaggressions towards me. He's got microaggressions against Sabrina. We all have microaggressions against Sabrina. IRS tax deadline. You know what? I was hoping it got moved to July, but they're just going to apparently move it to May. It's all your all's fault. Trump moved it to July, damn it. You know what? There's a famous thing about taxes. Defer, 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 defer. I'll take May over April, but I'd prefer July. Voter ID. Now, this is a great one. I want to get my studio audience to weigh in on this. There is apparently a poll that says 75% of Americans think there should be voter ID. Even 60% of the Democrats. I got to ask this question. How can 25% of Americans and 40% of the Democrats say, we don't need voter ID? Can you explain that to me?
I guarantee you 100% of the 25% are left-wing nut jobs.
I agree with that. Thank you. That's good input. All right. Ready for this? The New York Times. I mean, this is, you know what? It's getting so crazy. We white people ought to just start laughing at it all. Ha, ha, ha. Every time we all just, ha, ha, just start laughing. Let me give you an example. New York Times, there's a story that says, whiteness is a pandemic. You can't make that up. Roger, you and me and these guys in here, man, we're all part of a pandemic. We are whiteness is the new pandemic.
I asked you if my name would change to Lester Light.
Well, I'm telling you right now, we are all part of the new pandemic.
I don't think it's
It's not contagious. Yeah, you can't rub off on somebody white. Nobody wants to be white anymore. I want to come back as black man. But wait a minute, I take that back. I want to come back as a black woman. Ford, you know, Trump made these deals. He'd come out, and I'll be honest with you, it was kind of funny. He'd make these deals, and like he basically would threaten them. If you go to Mexico, I'm cutting you off, you know. But I kind of liked it, but it was funny the way he did this. Well, Trump leaves office. Ford apparently is going to start making some more cars in Mexico, and 1,600 people who work in their plants in Toledo might lose their jobs, and that's not a laughing matter. Now, you think Joe Biden's going to call up Ford like Trump did and threaten to kick their ass if they leave? I don't know what his rights to do that were, but I kind of liked having a president that would threaten any company that wanted to leave to him. I'll drop a bomb on your ass if you freaking leave. You want to fly over? You want a fleet of drones hovering over your ass? You will not move those jobs. Last but not least, Cowboy sent this to me. Edward H. Livingston, MD, Journal of American Medical Association, or JAMA, had to resign. You know why? He says he doesn't think there's systemic racism in the medical field. And he has to resign. I don't know about you folks, but I've had lots of interaction in the medical field. There's no racism in the freaking medical field. I don't think so. Crazy. The only place that there is racism is in Black Lives Matter. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, that's been my show. I would like to thank my 2 studio audience members, Chuck Holbrook and Joe Rudder. Murdoch, you're never welcome here again. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.